Jai Shri Krishna. Krishna in dance is the subject today. Padharo, Kanhaiya, Kanha, Natwari, Gopal, Move Gopala, Venu Gopala, Madana Gopala, Nandakumara, Navneet Chora, Krishna. The list of names and adjectives that describe the blue-hued god goes on and on. Lord Krishna and his depictions are hugely popular in dance that sometimes one would think that there is no dearth of compositions that do not describe him. Being the eighth avatar of Lord Vishnu, Krishna is considered as the supreme personality himself by the Gaudiya Vaishnavites. In a way, it makes sense as time and again Lord Krishna had proved his stature among his folk and devotees with the numerous miracles he performed. Krishna's attractiveness is due to the fact that he appeals to all ages, whether be the antics of him as a child that finds attention from kids of today, or the philosophical Krishna that the learned one adore, or the youthful Krishna and his Ras Leela that invoke love for him in every girl. Due to his popularity and due to the spread of Madhura Bhakti cult, dance has been heavily influenced by Krishna. And dancers do not tire to dance about him. In fact, in Bharatanatyam, there is at least one song in Krishna that the dancer dances to. Krishna and dance are inseparable, so much so that in the 108 divine names or the Ashtotra, Tribhangi is attributed to him as a reference of his Tribhanga pose while playing the flute. Krishna as the flute-bearing god is more familiar across India than Shiva as Nataraja. Similar to Shaivism, Vaishnavism has dance and music as an important role. More than Rama or the other avatars of Lord Vishnu, Krishna is more closely associated with dance. Hence, poets in the south, Alvars, Andals and others, and in the north, Surdas and others, have been fascinated by this fluting Krishna who plays, loves Radha, and have written in either devotional or romantic words. For example, Andal's plea to the conch, cloud and parrot as a messenger are filled with sensual lyrics. Similarly, Geet Govinda is also replete with Sringara Rasa, and the plot centers around the Sambhoga Sringara or sexual union of Krishna with Radha. According to scholars, Krishna's dance is considered to be of the popular or the folk variety and is more spontaneous and expressed as a result of pure joy. As a child, the most famous dance of the Krishna is that of Kaliya Mardana, or the subjugation of the serpent Kaliya. In sculptures and paintings, Krishna is depicted dancing on one foot on the head of the serpent and holding the tail with the left hand, while the right hand is in Abhay Hasta. Other dances of Krishna in sculptures are those in his triumphant dance of successfully stealing the butter. As a youth, his amorous relations with Radha and other gopis have been written by poets and most famously by Dev in his Geet Govind. The story in Geet Govind is very simple yet involves many layers of Naika-Nayaka Bheda. The story revolving around Krishna, Radha and her Sakhi is probably borrowed from the theme in Brahma Vaivarta Purana involves Krishna's amorous relations with gopis that leads to separation of Radha and Krishna. Radha waits at the banks of Yamuna for Krishna and realizes that he is enjoying his pastimes with other gopis of Vrindavan. Radha, still jealous and estranged, is unable to bear the separation and sends her Sakhi to Krishna, who now repents for the estrangement. The Sakhi explains the situation to Krishna and pleads him to return to Radha, as due to the viraha, she is in no position to travel to him. Come evening, Radha's viraha reaches a peak and she describes her suffering to her Sakhi. It is only in the early morning that Krishna returns and cajoles her. However, Radha gets angry and admonishes Krishna for spending the night with someone else. Accused by Radha, Krishna leaves while repentant of his acts. At the insistence of the Sakhi, Radha realizes her folly and hopes that Krishna will return back to her again. In the evening, Krishna does not return and pacifies her and agrees to meet her at the same meeting spot. Radha bedecks herself and goes to meet Krishna with the gopis. After they are in seclusion, Krishna consoles Radha for the fight and they reconcile. Later that night, they have a union, and in the early morning, Radha realizes her disheveled state and blames Krishna for it. And Krishna redecorates her with her clothes and makeup. With this episode, Geet Govind ends. In the south, where Krishna is part of the Vaishnava sect, numerous temples are dedicated to him. The most famous one is Rajagopala Swami of Mannargudi. It is said that the deity here, Krishna as a cowherd, is quite attractive that devotees cannot have enough darshan. The Parthasarathi temple in Triplicane, Madras or Chennai has Krishna as the Sarathi or charioteer for Arjuna during the Mahabharata war. According to Abhinaya Darpana, when two Mrigashirsha hastas are placed near the right side of the chest, it depicts Krishna. Among the variations of depicting Krishna are showing a Mayura hasta on the head to indicate the peacock feather, showing Simha Mukha hasta in one hand to indicate cows, while the other hand is Mrigashirsha hasta to indicate the flute. The flute can be depicted in various hastas, using both hands in Kapita and Kadakamukha or Hamsasya hastas. Bharatanatyam dancers have used the theme of Krishna and rehashed it numerous times. However, every time they dance, it feels new and fresh, which is indicative of the evergreen appeal of Krishna. The Shabdam Arayar Sheriyar is about Krishna's antics as a child in Vrindavan. Here the composer describes that Krishna plays the flute to entice the gopis, and he does this without the knowledge of Nanda and Yashoda and others. A standard repertoire of Kalakshetra, these Shabdam Sancharis are choreographed to describe the butter thief and his pastimes. Another Shabdam is Kamala Lochana, where Krishna is praised, and since he is the Supreme Personality, the episode of Gajendra Moksham is included in the lyrics. One of the famous Tilanas on Krishna is the composer Ootukadu Venkata Subbaraya's Kalinga Nartana Tilana. This Tilana has become famous in recent times due to the rendition by Aruna Sairam. The dancer Malvika Sarukai has used this Tilana with a fresh choreography, unlike the typical Tilana. Ootukadu Venkata Subbarayas has also composed padams on Krishna. The most famous one is Ala Payathu and Vedamangalam and others. There are Varnams on Krishna as well. The now famous Aartukola Vendum in Raga Mallika is from the perspective of Andal's yearning towards Krishna, where she patiently pleads for Krishna's union. However, as Andal realizes this time is running fast, she becomes restless and feverishly prays for a union with the Supreme. The Tanjore King Shaji, a versatile composer and great patron of the arts, composed padams on Krishna. They are Thunguru Nindu Manaru in Ahiri Raga, Manaru Deva Neenu in Juja Panthi Raga, Adanane Thosamma in Madhyavanti Raga, and Enda Thapinju Kunnevu in Gauri Raga. The compositions of Kshatriya Padams are frequently performed in Bharatanatyam. He is addressing the deity Muva Gopala, and the dalliances of Krishna give ample scope for Sancharis and Shringara Rasa while performing. The Dhannamal school of Carnatic music has been in the forefront of spreading the compositions of Kshatriya. While some of these padams are famous, he is credited to have composed close to 4,100 padams on Muva Gopala alone. Frequently performed padams of Kshatriya are Kudi Kosi Nayayu in Saurashtram Raga and Aditala, Rama Rama Pranasakhi in Bhairavi Raga and Aditala, Valapu Dasa Nirane in Varali Raga in Mishra Chapu Tala, Kuddari in Sahana Raga and Mr. Chaputala, Ente Chakini Vara in Abogi Raga and Aditala, Ninu Juda Galige in Punnagavarali Raga and Thisra Chaputala, Ayayo Vegayatayana in Nandamakriya Raga and Mr. Chaputala, Edu Vanti Vadu Vadu in Kalyani Raga and Mr. Chaputala, Vadaraka Popovai in Kambodi Raga and Triputatala, and Indidu Vachittira in Suruti Raga and Mr. Chaputala. In Kathak, according to history of Kathak, the Kathakars who recite the stories and dance to it were attached to Krishna temples of North India. Thus, originally the thematic portion of Kathak was most exclusively about Krishna. With time, as Kathak evolved and codified other Vaishnavite gods and characters, such as Rama, came to be introduced. Still, Kathak is predominated with Krishna, his Raslila, the Viraha of Gopikas, and other similar themes. Thus, Kathak is aptly named as Natvari, which also another name of Krishna. The Lucknow Gharana of Kathak was initiated and further developed by Bindadin and his brother Kalka Prasad. Bindadin had a vision of Krishna, blessing him with the art of dancing and charged him to perfect and promulgate it, making the themes used in Lucknow Gharana predominantly about Krishna. Another recurring motif in Kathak is the holy festival where Krishna applies colors on gopis. Similarly, the episode on Krishna as Makhan Chor and getting caught by Yashoda is an all-time audience favorite. In Kuchipudi, it is said that this art form came as a revelation to a Brahmin called Siddhendra Yogi, who was known as Siddhappa. Siddhappa used to sleep inside the premises of the Sri Kakulam Matha run by Sri Narahari Tirtha after watching the all-night dance performance of Lord Krishna. Once he was woken up by a dream of Lord Krishna dancing on him. Disturbed and unable to find Krishna, he was consoled by Sri Narahara Tirtha, who dispatched him to Udupi for religious initiation. An important source for Kuchipudi is the Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavata Purana. Other sources are Geet Govind of Jayadeva, Krishna Leela Tarangini, Bala Gopala Tarangam, Bhama Kalapam of Siddhendra Yogi. Krishna Sabdam is from the dance drama Usha Parinayam, where the Naika is waiting for Lord Krishna to visit her. In the Padams or love songs, the dancer dances to the Ashtapadis of Jayadev's Geet Govind, Padams of Kshetriya or Kshetrajna. Sometimes they perform to Leela Sukha's Krishna Karnamritam. Similar to Bharatanatyam, the songs of Kshetriya and Anamacharya are hugely popular in Kuchipudi performances as well. One dance that is inseparable from Kuchipudi is the Dasavatara dance, where all the 10 incarnations of Vishnu are depicted. This is based on the Jayadev's Ashtapadi from Geet Govind. In practice, the dance is a sequential rendering of the avatars, describing the principal events that lead to the coming into being of each avatars. Unlike other Dasavatara depictions, the 8th avatar is Balarama and not Krishna. This is due to the fact that Jayadev considered Krishna as Mahavishnu and therefore put Krishna's elder brother in his place. Vempati Chinna Satyam, the doyen of Kuchipudi dance dramas, has composed and choreographed dance dramas on Lord Krishna such as Sri Krishna Parijatam in 1959, Srinivasa Kalyanam 1975 and Gopika Krishna 2004 that have predominantly Krishna themed productions. Siddhendra Yogi composed Bhama Kalapam, which was previously known as Parijatam or Parijata Paharana. Bhama Kalapam is also about how Satyabhama persuades Lord Krishna to be united with her. Satyabhama enters the stage Bhamane, Satyabhamane, Bhamane, Satyabhamane, and is described as the confident young woman, a Swadhin Patika Naika. Krishna looks into a mirror and asks her who is most beautiful between him and her. Forgetting the Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality, Satyabhama, in a movement of vanity, declares her as the most beautiful. Krishna is offended by her ignorance and vanity and leaves her place to return back to his abode. Satyabhama, now repentful, realizes that she is of no significance without Krishna. She confides to her friend Madhavi and recounts the incident and begs Madhavi to go as a messenger and make her unite with Krishna. Satyabhama writes a letter to Lord Krishna and sends it via Madhavi, who delivers it. Seeing Satyabhama's repentance, Lord Krishna forgives her and they are united once again. In Manipuri, the first Manipuri ruler, Garib Nawaz, or known as King Pamheba, was responsible for bringing in Vaishnava cult into Manipur. Later, it was his son King Bhagyachandra, disciple of Narottama Das of Bengal, ushered in Nama Sankirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is said that they made his daughter play the role of Radha during the performance of Rasa. The Rasa dance of Manipur deals with the Nama Sankirtan of Govindji temple and has a richness of Nritya and Abhinaya. In Vasanta Rasa, performed on the full moon day of Holi, is preceded by Natapal, or a group of men dancers who drum and sing. This is followed by women singers who are called Sutradhari. These Sutradhari set the tone and presentation of the Rasa. A particular mood is invoked and the dancers and the audience transport themselves to Vrindavan. In Vaishnava Vandana, a young girl plays the role of a young adolescent Krishna who applies color on Radha as it is holy. The mischiefs of Krishna and his conversations with Radha are described in this rasa. In Kunja Rasa, the theme is drawn from Srimad Bhagavatam, an enactment of hide and seek between Krishna and Radha. In Nritya Rasa, the work of Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Govinda Leela Amritam is majorly used. In Ulukhala Rasa, the birth of Krishna, killing of Putana are described. Manipuri dance also employs Leela, which are reenactments of Krishna's childhood pranks with Yashoda or with his companions. Goshta Leela is a play on Krishna and Balarama, Krishna and Yashoda, and with his companions. In Odissi, Geet Govinda became part and parcel of the rituals at the Jagannath temple in Puri. The three types of performances were singing in seclusion in the sanctum by the Maharis, solo performances outside the sanctum involving mime, and dramatized version by the Goshti. It is believed that the dance drama Payusha Lahari by Dim Dim Jayadeva, which is based on Geet Govinda, set the tone and model for other adaptations of Geet Govinda across India. Coming from the Gotipuva tradition, Kelucharan Mahapatra is world renowned to play the role of Radha in an Ashtapadi. The Maharis improvise the Geet Govinda with Abhinaya performances having different bhavas and rasas. The current Odissi dance that evolved from the Mahari dance has Geet Govinda as the central theme, so much so that there is no Odissi dance without one Ashtapadi item, be it be Priya Charushile or Yahi Madhav Yahi Keshava. In Kathakali, the precedents of dance forms in Kerala, such as Chakyar Kooth, Ramanatam, Krishnaatam, have influenced Kathakali as a predominant Vaishnava themed dance form. Krishnaatam deals with Krishna and is used Jayadev's Geet Govind as its source material. Today, Guruvayur remains the only place where Krishnaatam is enacted for 8 consecutive nights, where the story of Krishna from the Krishna Geeti poem composed by Manaveda Zamorin, king of Kozhikode or Calicut.